Hi, everyone. We are back for the second website roundtable series. So we are a group of web designers, developers, and operations specialists who you can trust to help you get to the next level in your business.
Hi, I'm Lauren Newton, and I'm a web designer with an eye for SEO. I help small businesses with their online presence by increasing website traffic and boosting conversion rates, ultimately turning more visitors into loyal customers.
Hi, I'm LaShae Dorsey, and I help consultants, coaches, and B2C biz owners level up, set up, and tidy up their behind-the-scenes tech from automation to support. I love to help you find, love, and use the tech partners that work for you in your biz and for your business goals and for how you like to work.
I'm Lisa Doiron with Lisa Marie Creative, and I like working with entrepreneurs who feel called to use their unique skills and services to positively impact the lives of others. They need quality websites and branding that is effective and strategic, that they can use as a tool to meet their business goals, as well as align with their higher vision to be a force for good in the world.
I'm Kate Newnham from Up Designs, and I really enjoy working with health and wellness entrepreneurs who want to make a difference. They're like fired up. They have a bigger mission to help people in the world, and they need a website that is, awe-inspiring, memorable, strategic, and can get them to where they need to go and help them achieve their business goals. And they have this tremendous value, and I just want to make sure their website reflects that.
So a brochure website is basically a brochure online. So it's a beautiful, typically attractive website that just has pictures and some content and doesn't really lead your client through a journey. It doesn't have a goal in mind for the client or for the visitor. It doesn't include ways to collect email addresses or have integrations or it's just kind of like a picture online.
Oh, that's nice.
That shows people what you do, and that's about it. There's no
like a resume
involved. Yeah. So
it's like a beautiful resume, right? For solopreneurs.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So there's it doesn't have like engaging content, and it's not thinking about who the ideal client is and who the ideal client isn't, that kind of thing. So, and it doesn't highlight the business in the best possible light. So.
Absolutely. No, 100%. I completely agree. A brochure website is a good place to start, right? But to get to that next level of making it strategic and converting, I mean, one of the things that I always focus on is like the first thing when you have a strategy call to get on the phone with your client, right? And interested in the user experience of a website. So starting with the goal in mind, right? So that you can lead people from where they are when they visit your site, mentally, their needs, to where you want them to go, right? Like my ultimate goal obviously is to grow my business and make more money like everybody, right? But what is that goal? Is it scheduling a consult? Is that what you want them to do? Is it signing up for your newsletter? Is that what you want them to do? So what is that journey? And from the beginning, like understanding where they're coming from too, right? Like meet them where they currently are. I just reviewed a website yesterday, and he had two different target audiences that were completely different. And it's really tough to talk to two completely different audiences at the same time. So it's like, you really have to pick it, hone in that first sentence, on your website. It's like, I understand who you are, and I'm going to take you through what I want you to do. So I feel like it's a different way of thinking from a strategic standpoint.
Yeah, definitely. And going off of that, like I think a lot of times when we have consults with potential clients, they might not even know what the goal is of the website. They might just think like, I need a website, but they don't necessarily know what that website could do for them and how it can help people, convert. And so, maybe like a lot of my consult calls are educating people on integrations that they could do to make, the website work better, make a lead magnet, for example, that could convert people that aren't ready to necessarily contact or set up an appointment with the client, but they're ready to start like learning more about them. So kind of allowing the website to help them hit their goals, but then also kind of having like a catch-all for people that might not convert just yet, but are going to. So yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Tech guru.
Yeah, so talking about integration, it's not just capturing emails. It is, again, making sure that your the processes actually work. So if you are, say, wanting someone to schedule something, then if they click the button, is it going to your scheduler? Is your scheduler showing up? Do the pieces of your scheduler work? So what is that? You know, you're bringing them there. You don't want it to be a brochure website. You want them to actually take some kind of action and do something on the website and not just think, oh, that was pretty, that was not helpful, but it was pretty. Um, so, you know, again, like just understanding why they're coming to the site, and not just the site, but you know, even getting more granular, why they are landing on the specific page of your site that they're landing on, or the specific section. If you maybe have done like a one-page website that looks like a website and functions like a website, but is just one page, even that can be a conversion based strategic website for you, and not just a brochure site to show people here's what I have, you know, because you're again talking about yourself instead of helping them. So I think, yeah.
Yeah, I was just going to say, you know, like all the tech, the programs, the, you know, systems, the best thing to choose on the back end to integrate to make sure that their goal is being achieved. So how do you kind of go about deciding? And first of all, you probably have to educate the client on what program might be best for their needs. And then is there a sort of way that you go about choosing which program might work best for them, or are they coming to you with programs they already have? How does that work?
Well, it depends actually. For someone who is already clear on exactly what they do and exactly the outcome that they're trying to achieve, we just look at the programs that meet those needs. So take, for instance, calendaring is one of the things that people know that they can automate. Like they know it's an operations nightmare, especially if you're calendaring multiple people. But then there are some calendars that don't allow you to route people to different people in your team. So let's say that you have a team of 3. Some calendars are not going to allow you to do that. It's going to give you access to one calendar versus giving you access to all 3 people's calendars, and the person who has the most availability gets that person when they're scheduled. So you're seeing everyone's calendar instead of seeing one massive calendar. So it's just getting clear first on what it is you're wanting to achieve before you make the decision as to what software you're going to be using. And that's for anything. That's not just for the conversion website. That's even what kind of website you're going to build. Like, what system are you going to build your website on? Do you want people to be able to purchase multiple items in one shopping cart? And are you doing that from your website, or are you doing that from somewhere else? You know, so understanding exactly what you want to have happen at your website and what you want, like the functions that you want to have happen on the web domain, which I'm using that word a little differently, right? But having it all in under one roof. So it all happens under that one domain, or you putting it under multiple roofs. You've got, you know, a offset garage on your property versus the house on your property versus the gazebo out the back, right? Like so that's where a lot of the operation stuff comes in, because if you've got the wrong setup, then you're already stopping your customer, because probably your setup is not going to give you the clear navigation that you want. It's not going to give you the clear customer journey that you're looking for, because you're in the wrong setup. So we just get clear, like, you know, from an operations standpoint. And yeah, sometimes they don't want to change. So
that's their choice, right?
How to make it work.
Yeah.
But yeah, to understand that if you're not in the right place trying to do certain things, you're going to cause more frustration for your customer and for yourself.
Yeah, and we were talking about in the previous video, if the user can't do what they want quickly, oops, the dog's barking, you know, like Lisa's dog needs to be let out, or, you know, it's like so easy to just like get distracted and be like, oh, this is too much, I have something else to do. And that's our world, right? So it's like, it needs to be streamlined. It needs to be fast. If I want to buy something, it's got to be fast. 1 touch, 2 touch, 3, you know, like what program can I use? And I think saving time is a big part of being strategic too, is like making sure you have that stuff.
Totally, like having that consult with the client at the beginning, going through to figure out what they do in their business backend that you can strategically set up on the website to save them the time, right? So there's that too. You can bring in certain integrations or whatever to help them streamline their business backend as well, which can save clients hours of time, right? So that's helpful too. And that's something that just a brochure website will not do for you, most definitely.
Yeah, you know, it's interesting. I have clients come to me and they're already on a platform, right? Because usually by the time they come to me, they're a few years in, right? So they've grown their business to a point where a landing page has been enough. They left a corporate job. They have tons of referrals. They have enough business, but they realize that stuff is running out, or that it's time to have the next level website, right? So they have already a website that they built on Wix, or that they built on Squarespace, or that they built on whatever, usually not WordPress, it's a little more complex, but you know, they have that and they think, okay, now I need to level up, right? And so strategically, it's like, usually it's possible for me, at least with the types of clients I have, to work with what they have on the platform that they have. But there are also times where sometimes that isn't the best. Like, for example, someone who did e-commerce recently came to me and wanted to do international e-commerce. And it's a little bit harder on some platforms to integrate some of that stuff on the back end. So it's, you know, choosing that platform and really relying on a strategist to say, you know, instead of the client coming to the web designer, web strategist and saying, you know, this is what I want, make it happen. It's okay, well, you know, kind of coming together and saying, actually, I would recommend this makes more sense for you, really. And just kind of, so it has to be someone you trust, you know, who has that kind of background to decide, to help you decide like what platform works best for you, because it's not going to be seamless if it's the wrong platform with the wrong goal, I find.
Yeah. And you can also give them the cons of using that platform. So I mean, because again, you can pretty much make the majority of platforms that are available today do whatever you want them to do. But from an operations standpoint, especially, there's always going to be a trade-off. You know, there's always going to be a little glitch somewhere where you've got to tie all these platforms together, all these functions for the platform together. And as a strategist, you come in and you help take away those places that bottlenecks can happen. And you're thinking future forward, like you're thinking 3 years from now, if your traffic does X, what is the site doing 3 years from now when you're, you know, cobbling all this together? Is it still sustainable? And are you losing money then versus now? So, you know, putting that investment up front and just being clear and not just giving the person what they want because that's what they said that they want. Like really fine tuning and getting into the nitty gritty of here's how this is going to impact you when this projection happens. Because as you said at the very beginning, we're all in this to make money. I mean, ultimately, as a business owner, your business is not a business, right? If it loses money multiple years in a row. Like you can maybe
It's a hobby.
hold that. Yeah, you can hold it
Expensive
maybe
hobby.
1 year, but yeah, that second year when you're losing money, is it really a business now? Or I mean, like you're just sitting in the red. You got a super expensive hobby. Yeah.
Right. And I think that's what like a website strategist can bring is that is really like diving into what like the business's long-term goals are to make sure that the website and the operations are all supporting those goals. So even not just building a site for today, but building a site for 3 years from now. And, you know, a template site that might work today might actually cost you a lot more money down the road if you have to, in 2 years, redo the whole thing. So, you know, it might work for you today, but, you know, you might end up like one of Kate's clients who, you know, landing page worked for a year or two, and now they're looking at, okay, we have to up level, we need to grow. And, you know, this is the time we're going to invest in like our long-term strategy. So, you know, if you're a business owner with like long-term goals, I think that's the way to do it is, you know, hire somebody that has that strategy knowledge that can really dip into like your goals today and your goals long-term to create like a sustainable website for you.
100%.
Yeah.
Any last words before we wrap this thing up? Well, we know you're all busy, so we're going to make it short and sweet. If you need a website strategist, you can contact any one of us. Our contact information will be below. We love helping people achieve their goals, and we look forward to seeing you in the next video.